Got that one friend who's always late to everything? Or, let's be real, are you that friend who just can't seem to show up on time? You set a dozen alarms, map out your route, and tell yourself, this time will be different. But somehow, you still end up scrambling out the door, frantically typing that classic, running 5 minutes behind text. It's like a ritual, right? You know, it's almost comical how we all have these grand plans, only to be met with the chaos of the morning rush. You might even find yourself staring at your closet, thinking, what was I even going to wear? And then, of course, there's that moment when you realize you forgot to pack your lunch or grab your keys. Ugh, it's like a comedy of errors. But hey, you're not alone in this. We've all been there, and it's a wild ride. You get to the train station, and it's packed, or the bus you need is running late. It's almost as if the universe is in on the joke, right? But maybe, just maybe, this chaotic start is what makes those moments when you actually arrive on time feel so rewarding. So here's to embracing the madness and laughing it off. What's your go-to excuse for being late? You know, for years, society has been saying that being late means you're disrespectful, disorganized, or even a bit arrogant. But is that really the case? It's a character flaw, a sign that you don't value other people's time. But what if I told you that this common perception is completely wrong? What if the very traits that make you chronically late are also the secret ingredients to your success? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating psychology of people who are always late. Get ready, because we're about to challenge everything you thought you knew and reveal why these seemingly unreliable individuals are often more optimistic, more creative, and ultimately, more successful in the long run. So, if you've ever felt guilty about your internal clock, get ready for some serious validation. First, let's get one thing straight. Most chronically late people aren't trying to be rude. They really struggle with a ton of guilt and anxiety about it, you know? The real culprit isn't a lack of respect. It's a fundamental difference in how they perceive time. This is what psychologists call time perception. For punctual folks, a single minute really feels like a full 60 seconds. For those who are always running late, a single minute can stretch on forever. They operate on what experts call event time rather than clock time. They think in terms of tasks and experiences, not rigid schedules. So when they say, I'll be ready in 5 minutes, they're not lying. In their minds, the task of getting ready genuinely feels like it will only take 5 minutes, even if reality proves otherwise. This is directly linked to a core personality trait found in many latecomers, optimism. Did you know that researchers discovered chronically late folks are often super optimistic? Isn't that wild? They believe they can squeeze more tasks into a shorter amount of time than is realistically possible. They think they can finish one more email, make one more call, and still make it to their appointment on time. While this optimism is what gets them into trouble with punctuality, it's also a massive asset in life and business. Think about it. Who starts a new business? An optimist who believes they can succeed against the odds. Who pushes through a difficult project? An optimist who believes a solution is just around the corner. This optimism bias makes late people more resilient, more willing to take risks, and more likely to see opportunities where others see obstacles. They don't get bogged down by the possibility of failure because, in their minds, success is always just within reach. Another surprising trait of the perpetually late is their multitasking prowess. Now, I know what you're thinking. Multitasking is a myth. It makes you less productive. And you're partially right. For focused, single-task work, it's not ideal. But the world isn't a series of single tasks. Life is messy, chaotic, and requires juggling multiple priorities at once. You know, those folks who are always late. They're usually super skilled at juggling a million things at once. Their minds are constantly buzzing with different ideas and plans. This is why they try to do just one more thing before they leave. They aren't lazy, they are the opposite. Their brains are wired for activity and engagement. This ability to juggle multiple streams of thought makes them incredible problem solvers. They can see connections that others miss and come up with creative, out-of-the-box solutions. In a fast-paced work environment, this type of thinking isn't a flaw, it's a superpower. This brings us to the biggest misconception of all, that being late means you're not in control. In reality, many late people are what psychologists call type B personalities. Unlike the rigid, competitive, and time-obsessed type A personalities, type B individuals are more relaxed, easygoing, and adaptable. They don't sweat the small stuff. When things go wrong, a traffic jam, a canceled meeting, a technical glitch, they don't panic. They simply adjust. This adaptability is a cornerstone of success. The world is unpredictable. Plans fail. The people who thrive are not the ones who stick rigidly to a plan, but the ones who can pivot and find a new path forward. Their laid-back nature also makes them better collaborators and leaders. They are less prone to stress, which creates a calmer, more positive environment for everyone around them. They see the bigger picture, focusing on the ultimate goal rather than getting stuck on minor details like being 5 minutes behind schedule. Their focus is on the quality of the outcome, not just the rigid process of getting there. Diana DeLonzer, a management consultant and author of Never Be Late Again, spent years studying late people. She found that they aren't lazy or inconsiderate. Instead, they are often deeply engaged in whatever they are doing. They get so absorbed in the present moment, in the task at hand, that they lose all track of time. This is a state of flow, a psychological concept where you are fully immersed in an activity. Artists, innovators, and top performers in every field rely on this state to do their best work. So, the very thing that makes them late, their ability to become completely absorbed in their work, is also what allows them to produce exceptional results. They aren't distracted by the clock. They are driven by passion and creativity. Let's put this all together. The person who is always late is likely an optimist who believes in the best-case scenario. They're a creative multitasker who can juggle multiple ideas at once. They're a relaxed, type B personality who doesn't get stressed by unexpected changes and can adapt on the fly. And they're capable of entering a state of deep focus, allowing them to do their best work. Does that sound like a failure to you? Or does it sound like the profile of an entrepreneur, an artist, or an innovative leader? Of course, this doesn't mean you should start showing up late to everything on purpose. Punctuality is still a valuable social skill, and being consistently late can have real-world consequences. The key here isn't to glorify lateness, but to reframe it. It's about understanding the hidden strengths that often accompany this trait. So, the next time you find yourself waiting for that friend who is on their way, instead of getting frustrated, try to see them through this new lens. Recognize that their different sense of time might be connected to their optimism and creativity. And if you are that late friend, it's time to let go of the guilt. Stop defining yourself by this one small habit. Your brain is wired differently, and that's not a flaw, it's a feature. Your unique perspective on time is intertwined with the very qualities that make you a resilient, creative, and big-picture thinker. Embrace your optimistic, adaptable, and passionate nature. These are the traits that will truly define your success in life. The clock on the wall doesn't measure your worth or your potential. What do you think? Are you a chronically late person who sees these traits in yourself? Or do you have a friend who fits this description perfectly? Let me know in the comments below. It's fascinating to see how these psychological patterns play out in our own lives. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this fresh perspective and want more videos that challenge common assumptions about our psychology, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We have a lot more to explore together. See you in the next one.